The Phantasma looks fantastic, no pun intended. Visually, I actually like the looks of this, but how it works... I've heard self-harm is a really bad thing for this, and the fact that it needs 10 sentient cores to build it, if it deals a lot of self-harm, this could completely ruin this weapon. It does come with a dash and a V polarity, which makes it really great for fitting just any mod. I mean, primed point blank thrown in here will only take up 7 points, which is great because shotguns don't tend to need a lot of polarities in them, so the fact it comes with 2 sets it off to a great start. And I did compare this previously to the Phage, because that is a held weapon as well, but this does have a secondary that's more of a charge, so high hopes for this. Hope I'm not strongly disappointed. With it being radiation based, it is great for crowd control, actually better than expected because of the way this thing fires. It doesn't shoot pellets or anything else, it seems to shoot goo, is the best way I could put this. Visually, this thing actually looked amazing the first time I fired it. I didn't know what was going to come out the end and kind of went, oh, did not expect that at all. The secondary fire mode of being able to throw grenades, yeah, first time I kind of used this I did down myself, didn't expect the self-damage side of it, so you do need to be careful of that because that will pretty much ruin your day. That aside, the actual damage to this, it worked better than expected. It was one of those weapons where first time you used it, it was, ooh, visually this looks really good, damage wise it's okay. It's not the best. It's not like the Phage was where it comes in from the side and the beam gets narrow. It kind of stays as it was, which made it, again, much better than you expected this thing to be. But kind of like the frame itself, it is very heavy on the visual side. Of course, the party piece for this weapon is its reload speed. Even the secondary fire mode, which has a fire rate of 2, the normal fire rate is 12 on its normal fire mode. They both have a magazine of 11, I expected the magazine's the same on both, I don't even know why I mentioned that, but it's the reload speed on this that really is its saving grace, because you can fire that 11 rounds really quickly, especially if you're throwing grenades. So having a reload speed of 0.5 makes it, it's not instant, but it is as close to instant as we've had for anything in this game in a long time, and it is very noticeable that the reload, oh, it was the saving grace of this weapon. The fact that the status can go to 100% using just basic mods really, because it's a shotgun you obviously want Hell's Chamber in there, but things like Vicious Spread at 90% damage does increase the spread, but that 90% damage, it's a close range weapon and it's great for crowd control anyway. And instead of using any other of the fire damage mods, you can throw Blaze in there, which adds 60% more damage, plus the 60% heat, and the dual status mods, obviously they add 60% of whatever element you add in there, but Shell Shock, Frigid Blast, Toxic Barrage, throw them in there, you will have 100% elemental, very easy. And honestly, I just threw full contact in here because I couldn't think what else to do. I did have to form a V onto it. Of course, if you're using the full-on elemental mods like Charged Shell, which will do 90% rather than 60% elemental, you will probably have to form at least one dash onto this, because they're 11-point mods, I'm using 7s and 9s. And it would be really easy to run the standard elemental mods if you put something like the Vigilant armaments on there, which will of course increase multi-shot by an extra 60%, which I've said it many times in the past, multi-shot on a shotgun based weapon, best thing ever. But I kind of went for the build up the elemental combos on this. Honestly, the best thing to do would probably be to put a dash on this, or another V at least, run the full elemental mods, because with that vigilant armaments on there, adding more multi-shot, you can still get the 100% status, and it will just increase the elemental side just a little bit. But it really, by the time I'd finished with this, trying to figure out if I wanted to continue to use it was just one of those, yeah, it was fun, it's the firing mode, the visuals, the reload speed, the secondary fire mode, all work really well together. But if you use a shotgun secondary, you do need range, and I'm running Piranha Prime as kind of my main secondary at the minute, so running the Phantasma and that, really not a good idea, because you will limit yourself on range. So I just kind of went with that build as kind of a quick one-former build. I do really want to put a dash on this, possibly another V, run a little bit more elemental damage, and then a secondary that obviously works better at range. But as it is, because I'm running the Piranha Prime, I kind of shelved this thing way earlier than I normally would. It's just, you really need range, and running 2 shotguns, not a good idea, because obviously melee is not a ranged thing anyway. So if you do run this, running a ranged secondary, probably the best thing in the world to do. Two shotguns, not a good idea. You will become very limited on your range, and it will pretty much ruin everything. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.